Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Thursday's training tip. My name is CB Harris. So first off, let me apologize. There was not a video on Monday. All I can say is I will try to make sure I do better in the future, make sure that doesn't happen. So today we're going to talk about a military concept and we're going to see if we can apply it to civilian self-defense type situations. So what we're going to talk about is the OODA Loop. I know it sounds like some sort of frosted cereal, but we're actually going to be talking about the OODA Loop, which is a concept that was designed by an Air Force colonel, Colonel John Boyd, who he uses this to kind of explain combat decision making. And so we're going to kind of equate that to civilian self-defense. So what do they stand for? Obviously it's an acronym. The military loves their acronyms. So OODA. The first O is observe. You need to be observant. Now, in the military, obviously, situational awareness, that's what we talk about. But how do you maintain situational awareness in the civilian world? First things first, if your face is in your phone and your thumbs are moving, you're not being very observant. I see a lot of people walking around this way. I mean, obviously, you guys have probably seen the stories of people just walking into the street, not even paying attention to anything, because they're texting on their phone. So that's probably the first and foremost thing. The biggest thing that I can say is get out of your phone, look around, pay attention to what's going on around you. And if you do that, you'll be more observant. You'll see threats further out and you'll be able to act upon that threat without, being so surprised, I guess I should say. So the next O is orient. So it's kind of how you react, what guides you, what affects that. And that could be training that you've received, it could be your confidence level, it could be any number of things, your upbringing and all that. It's kind of how you position yourself mentally and physically to an enemy threat. D is decide. You have to make a decision. Don't procrastinate the decision. Sometimes you need to make it really fast. So decide, what are you going to do? And then the A is act. Obviously, you need to take some sort of action and you need to respond. And that's really it. That's the OODA Loop. And then we call it a loop because it comes back around to observe again. Because just because we acted doesn't mean that it was effective. So you had a threat, a civilian type situation, a self-defense situation, and you acted. You drew your handgun and it didn't do anything by drawing your handgun. Now you might need to shoot it. Oh, and now threat might not be down. You might need to continue to fire. So you need to continue that cycle of observing, orienting, deciding, and acting. One of the things that Colonel Boyd also talked about is getting inside the enemy's OODA Loop, because he's doing the same thing. So a criminal on the street, he's observing. He's looking for a victim, right? He's looking for an easy target. Also, his upbringing, his experiences are affecting how he positions himself and orients himself. And then he decides, yes, you are, or no, you are not a good victim, and then he acts upon that. So you need to get inside of his cycle to break that. And the way that Colonel Boyd suggests doing that is by moving faster, making decisions faster, changing direction faster. All of these things you need to do faster and quicker than the enemy. And how do we do that? Well, training. Training is the key thing, because honestly, at the observe, you kind of have to do that. But the rest of those things can be second nature. You can train to the point where it's an automatic response. You are presented with certain input and your feedback is to draw your weapon, present it, and fire. It can be as simple as that, because you've trained so much that you almost don't even have to think about it anymore. As soon as you get that visual information, you know exactly how to act. So I do want to talk about another concept, and this is not Colonel Boyd's theory. This is CB Harris's theory, okay? You want to avoid the perpetual observe and orient. You need to, at some point, make a decision. So if you are stuck in the perpetual observe and orient, guess what? We call that the poo, or I call that the poo. Because that's what you are. You are definitely in the poo, because you can't do anything. You're frozen with fear. And again, the only way to avoid that is to train to the point where you don't have to think about it. You don't have to be frozen by fear. You can just respond, and everything hopefully will turn out in your favor. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and I hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, be sure to like and share it. It really is appreciated when you like and share the videos here on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber and you want to see more videos like this, go ahead, find that subscribe button, give it a big old click, and then come back next Thursday for another Thursday's training tip. And don't forget, on Monday we also have the Monday Sit Rep. So remember that your mind, your brain, that is your most important weapon, your most important tool in any given situation, but particularly self-defense. And it is vitally important that you are armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe.